Good morning, traders. Welcome to the weekly Forex analysis. If you're watching this webinar for the first time, please follow my channel, subscribe, and set your notifications so that you can get these webinars when I put them out. During the week, I put an update to this one. If you look at it, the series of videos out for last week. Let me see if I can bring that up for you. Yeah. If you're looking at the last week one, you would see that we actually given midweek update on the weekly analysis. So only 1,200 of you managed to see it. I hope more of you can see that. Also, where you want to look at is you want to look at this channel. Go to my channel itself. When you click here, you go to my channel and go to community. Let me stop that. Yes, go to community and you will see updates on. These are actually my analysis that I use in the trading room. But I will pick one or two charts and post them. So far, we have been doing New Zealand yen and New Zealand. These will follow up. I will do them every single week, and I'll do them 2-3 times a week, giving you update on what I'm doing. You will see update on the chart. You will see the trade setup that I'm about to take. See, this was a trade that we were about to take. You will see what I did with the trade. It will be a follow-up on what I did with that trade. So I will tell you when I move stops to break even. So let me go back to that. 1 second. Let me just take this out. Let's go back to that. You would see if you look at the follow-up here, three more thing. Stop, move to break even. I showed you a copy of where the stop was moved to break even. Of course, that trade became a break even. It's a 20 pips trade. This was 20-something pips. So I was aiming for this level. And if I'm aiming for that level, I don't like to take out part of it. You can do that. Some traders like to take out a part of it, take a part of the profit, and let the rest run or let the rest come back to break even. It went to break even. I will show you the chart. I will continuously post updates on these. So you would have a very, very close insight of every single step of the analysis. It's like one chain analysis, never stopping. It's what I do in my trading room every single day. So you are seeing the weekly analysis, but I do one of this every day for my traders, which means if there's a change in structure, there's a change in patterns or whatever, we update it and you get a chance to see it. So let's start the webinar. Let's go. I'm on the dollar index, and remember what we said, the dollar index has two possibilities. One is it's going to come to break this low and then go right back up, make a new impulse to the upside, and I'm expecting a very sharp impulse to the upside, break the top, and then from that point we will see whether they continue to go, whether it become a trending feature, or whether they're going to break and come back all the way to the low. Now, both of those are possible. I wouldn't go into that now because that's a whole long story by itself. That's a separate issue. We'll come to that when we get to the top, we'll come to that. But we are watching this, and I've been showing that pattern when it was at the top here, and I've been telling you that there's a chance they're going to come back to retest the low. See, when they retest the low, what happened? It took off to the upside. So when we retest this low, I'm expecting that to start to the upside. Now, there are times when they go without retesting the low. There are times when it becomes more complex than that. I'm not expecting this to be more complex. And I'm not expecting this to not retest the low, which means I think they will retest the low and then go. So let's see if we're going to get that. Let's go to the lower time frame. If you go on the daily, so far, this is a correction. At least so far. Could that be the start of the up move? Of course. See the start of the up move. Anytime you're starting a move, it will start with an impulse and a correction like this. See this? An impulse and a correction. So at this point, if you ask me at this point here what I think this is doing, I would say it could possibly be a correction and they could drop because we had many of those corrections, or they're possibly starting to move to the upside. The same thing here. This one is even easier because we have a low here already, and we're assuming that this low needs to be broken for a regular flat. So I'm saying to you that this is likely a correction that might come back here and then go. Now, like I said, there are instances when they don't break the low for contracting flat. So let's see what we have in here. What we have in here was a perfect correction, which we told you about, that this is making a correction here. See that correction there? We had a smaller correction in this one. You made a correction there and you're going up. We got that part absolutely clear on the 4-hour and on all time frames. So what is it doing right now? We broke the top. So are we coming down? The question is this trying to go back to the low? If they're trying to go back to the low, that would be a very good sell setup to the low. Or are we just trying to still go up? All right, that's the question. That's all you need to know before you can trade, right? Whether you're buying or you're a seller, right? But let's go back to this part. Remember here, we told you that it's only one sharp move, and that by itself does not mean anything. At the same time, we went and make a high. We got another sharp move. And this by itself doesn't mean anything. If we put these two together, there's a good chance that we're looking at a running flat, and this would go break this top. At least break the top. That is the assumption. And when it breaks the top, it could still go down, or it will continue to go up. So if we get a buy setup here, that would be a good buy setup to go break the top. What if they're not going to break the top? What if this here is a standalone correction, something of a contracting flat in there, any version of what you want to put it as, and this is trying to go down? Well, it has got to make a consolidation here. You see, they make consolidations before they make a move. They make some kind of a consolidations here before they go up, right? So what I'll be looking for here is if I get a consolidation in this range, we're going to be selling. So what would the consolidation look like? Let's go into 1 hour. And on the 1 hour, you're thinking, well, what does a consolidation look like? Here is a nice 1 hour consolidation. We actually sold that if you want, which means we bought the euro and we bought a few more. And then this one, and it dropped. So this could be a 1, 2, 3 complete impulse. Here is the problem. What is it doing now? This is a sharp move. We actually bought this. That means we sold the euro on that one, right? And then we're looking at this and saying, well, what is this piece doing? Right now, nothing. If this just makes a flag here, that's a sell setup on Monday morning, right? Once it comes to the low, you will have to take profit or move your stop very tight, because this standalone might not be all the correction. But if they do like this and they come back like this, we're going to get something like that. We're going to get a pattern in here and then downside, which means we're going to get a corrective structure, and that would be a sell. The only thing to the upside would be if this goes back up like this, come back here, and then go. That would be a buy setup. Something like this, but only to the upside. So it's either we're making a flat, which would be deeper, or we're making a flag. The flag is for the buy, the flat is for the sell. Which one is going to be? We don't know that. No one knows that. That is the unknown factor. You've got to wait for it to form. And if you remember last week, I was telling you the same thing. Some places you have to wait. And once it's formed, I actually send you those that update on Wednesday, because that is when we had most of the correction that had formed already, right? On gold, we had the sell setup. I showed you this correction. I said this would be a sell. We got that sell. We were trying to get another sell here. It started to correct, but then they took off, right? Which means that started to look like a correction at the bottom here, but then it actually took off to the upside. Well, that doesn't mean anything, right? It just go. You're not in the sell. You probably didn't get the buy on this one. We got the buy on some other ones. We didn't get the buy on this one. Well, that's okay. All you have is 1, 2. That by itself doesn't mean anything. It has got to either come back to the low, go back up and then drop, or make a flag here, go back there, come here, and then go. Either of those two. A pattern has to form here for the upside or for the downside. We are making an assumption that this is a big running flat. Now, that might be incorrect. That assumption could be incorrect because that's just a forecast, which means this should come break the low. With this pullback here, that might unlikely be the factor. That this might be a channel as we thought it was, right? This might just be a channel. It ends the structure. And if that structure is ended with that channel, sorry, let me take this off. Oh, let me just move these up. And where is the one to take this off? Good, got it. So if this is just a channel for upside, then we will get a flat in here. This will probably make a correction, go back there, come here, and then go. If we get this flat, that might be by Tuesday or Wednesday. This would be a big trade to the upside, because that might be triggering a very, very big move to the upside, right? If not, we're going to totally go down. So we're going to watch for flats like these. See these flats here? We're going to watch for correction. In this case, if it makes a flat like this here, we're going up. If they come back down here and make a flag for a sell, we'll go with the sell, right? It's going to make some kind of a pattern with two pieces. That means you're going to have a long drawn out pattern. Silver has the very same structure. Silver, we knew this was going to go back up. So the silver sell, we closed it here. And we closed the sell we had. Oh, sorry. I think I might have, share my screen. I hope I'm still on. I might have accidentally closed the screen sharing. Okay. Somebody in the room give me a yes if we're still on. Anybody? You guys can still see my screen? Okay, great. We're still on. Yep. Okay. I accidentally, this thing is very close to where all the other things are. So it closes the screen every now and then. Sorry about that. Let's go. So silver, we're looking for this. And silver is becoming a corrective structure because you can see we have got these two sharp waves. And I told you those two doesn't mean anything. But when we started to get this up and you get this, we know we're going to get one more up. We're going to get one more down. We actually got that sell, which we closed. And now we're getting one more up. That is very normal. A running flat in the middle, one more up there, finish this move, and then downside. Most likely, 90% of the time, this goes down. If you look at this pattern, you've seen many like them before, right? You have seen this one, you've seen this one, you've seen this one. That means it comes to the top here and drop. That is the most likely way this pattern is going to behave. Once in a while, 1 in 10 might just continue to go up. This would be a big flat at the bottom of an impulsive move. It's rare when the flat is at the top here of the impulsive move. Most times it's in the middle or it's at the bottom part, right? See, this one is at the start, but then this took off. So if we're going to see a takeoff here, all we need to do is get a buy setup. So if we get a 1 hour flag here, and we're already getting that 1 hour flag, let me take this out. If we get a 1 hour flag in here, right here, that's a buy. First, you will buy it to only break this stop. But you will move the stops and keep it. Because if they continue to go, you're in the trade. If they reverse, they'll take you out, make a flag, and then we're selling to break the low. Well, I think you know what I mean by breaking the low. That is coming to tag this low, not break the low, but tag the low. Because I personally think this is a running flat. I think we will drop here, probably make another flag drop here, and then go back up. So I'm looking for more downside. First, the upside, the short buy in the 1 hour. So first, it's a 1 hour buy if we get that buy, and then downside. So if they make a buy here, give you that one, then we're looking for the sell. Now, if you're trading during the weekend, you're trading on a daily basis, and you're an intraday trader, you might have to get the up move first and then the down move. We'll see. I'll see if I can do an update on that later on in the midweek, so you can, if the downside start, or if it is going to continue to go up. So first, we want to get the upside. Let's see if we can get that. Euro has a similar pattern. Let me go in the higher time frame. You can see this. We broke the low, and this is kind of looking like they're trying to make an attempt back to the top here. At that point, they would either break out and do this, or we're going to come back here. Now, if they stay in this zone here, what if they don't go up? What if Euro does not go up, but stays within this zone here as a correction? Well, then we're selling. That would mean total downside. If that starts to happen, and we're coming down all the way to the bottom here, coming back to retest this low, right? We're coming back to break this low here. And this will be a contracting flat in the middle. I do think we'll go break that top. So I think the upside is most likely. So on the 1 hour, let's hope we get a correction in here and move down back like that, and then we're trading this up. See that? If we get that, we're trading up. I think that's what we're likely going to have. Let's see if we get that pattern. If we get that pattern, we're totally upside. Pong kind of going sideways. They break the top. We're looking for a running flat in here, and I think we might get a running flat. This one. We might get a running flat there. Take this off. And it looks like we're going to go one more up. One more up like this. Right now, there's a flag forming here. If this remains a flag, that's a buy setup. If it drops lower to this level, expect one more up like that, make a flat, and then it's a downside. So if it stays where it is and break to the upside, and that is Monday morning, it has to go. That's a buy. If it doesn't go up, and by Monday morning you get it back at the bottom here, then we're not going to be buying. We'll wait for it to come back here, and then we'll sell. Right? One out of those two are likely. Aussie right now looks like a B wave in the making. This is your first impulse down. It looks like a B wave, so I think we might get more upside here, going back higher before we come back here. So this whole piece is going to be a corrective structure. Come back here and then go. This is a big daily corrective structure in the making. So this is your first impulse down. I think I can show you an example of what that looks like. Here is an example of what it looks like. 1, 2, 3. You start to correct up, come back down, and then you go. Now it's not that they're going to make exactly that one, right? But they're going to make a big one because you're looking for a big impulse down. I don't think we're going to get one like this. That's a contracting flat. Any one of those two is possible, but I think most likely this will be a regular flat, which is this one might give you a correction here. Go back up, come down here, and then up. Let's see. Something like that we're looking for. It could make numerous order patterns, but in terms of trading, Let's see if we get the upside. It looks like a buy setup is forming here in the 1 hour already. So you can take that buy setup up. And remember, this is the B part, so it's not going to be a big move up. It's just going to go up and down until the B part is finished. And that might take the whole week before you get the downside. New Zealand, pretty much the same thing. Take off this. I'm expecting this to be a running flat. This one is similar to the silver trade that we had. So we have one, then we start to get this. You get a sharp one down here, and then you go back up, make a high, and then this should come down. Basically, it should come down from that point, right? So New Zealand, you have an impulse. I'm following this. I've been tracking this for you guys. We got an impulse. We got a correction. We got this sell. And then it starts to consolidate. There were a few small buys in here. I did not post those buys because they were very small. But what I would do is if this goes up to the top here, there might be a buy here Monday morning. I might update that. If it doesn't happen in the Asian session, let's say in the London session, I'll update it and you guys, I'll look for that trade out on the community section. Well, if it's gone, it's gone. Then I will post the sell setup. We'll be looking for the sell setup. How high this is going to go before they come, that's anybody's guess. But it's going to go up. And then from that point, we will see whether we're getting the downside. So we're expecting an upside. If I get a flag here, and I think they're already making a flag here, you can already see that some kind of a flag is forming there. We'll look for the upside. If it comes deeper, again, if they come deeper here and go back up, it means this will go down. So I think Monday I'll be able to update you guys whether we're looking for the buy or the sell. I think the buy is the most likely one. CAD is probably going to give you one more sell. It broke the low already, and that is very interesting. When you break the low, we start looking for buy setups. Every time the CAD breaks the low, we start looking for buy setups again. So they broke this low, you look for that buy setup. They broke this low, you look for buy setup. They broke that low, you look for buy setups. They broke this low, you look for buy setups. They break this low, they could go a little more, you look for buy setups. One of these are going to take off with a 700 pips, right? So this one we bought, that didn't give us a lot. Small trade. We took a few buys in this one, didn't go very well, break even, right? They didn't go, well, some of them maybe if you have 5 pips or 4 pips. The sell part of it, I didn't take because I thought this would just come here, go back there, and then come down. All right, we were looking at this flat for a 1, 2, 3, and then down. Said, well, it didn't go up. So there are 2 ways when that didn't happen. You can look at the chart as a contracting flat here. This is your down move. That's okay. You can go with that. Or you can assume that we're still going to have it here, and then we're going to go down one more, which is a long drawn-out running flat. Either of those two are not so important because we're not really looking for a sell at the bottom here. We're only looking for a buy. So if it's going to be this one, we'll get the buy. If it's going to be this one, we're going to get the buy. Can it go a little more down? There's a sell setup right now on it. You might want to take it. You might get about 50, 60 pips in that. This one is going to drop here. It might give you about 50, 60 pips and then upside. Then look for the buy. So on a very short term, you can look for a sell setup there. Not the best one because we don't know how far it's going to go. Once you break the low, that qualifies for the pattern to complete itself and turn. So maybe short sell, but the big picture is upside. Swiss looks like a consolidation in this point. You can see this, and it's probably going to do this, and then we'll look for upside. Break of that up. And then we'll see what happens from that point. It's in an uptrend, and you just get every buy opportunity you get, you'll take it. This is a buy opportunity. Yen, every buy opportunity we get, we will take it. This is a buy opportunity. Right? So yen, this is a buy. Probably it might go down here one more, and then up, or we just take off. So Monday, you want to buy the yen. That's definitely sure about it. You can just buy. We still have a lot of more trades to the upside. Remember from here, we were going to break this stop. So there's still at least about 100 plus more pips to the upside. About 300 more pips to the upside. So there, you got a number of trades to get, 2 or 3 trades to the upside there. On the hourly, you can get this trade and you can get about 2 or 3 more flags to get before you break the top. CAD-yen, wait. At some point, this thing will start to correct. I'd rather buy the dollar yen rather than the CAD-yen because at some point, this thing here starts to correct. Right? I don't know whether they'll get to that top before they correct, but at some point there's going to be a correction, a 4-hour correction before you go. This thing just crawls up. There's a lot of correction in here. So when it gets a pullback, maybe here would be confirmed going to the top there. Best thing is to wait for the pullback. If you're taking short trades in the 1 hour, make sure you get them to break even really fast. On the shorter time frame, there is a trade here that we don't have, this one. We need one of that before we can go, because we have got a running flat here. You've got a running flat there, but you need a sharp one down here like this before you complete this structure and then continue to go. So be careful of the buys that are up there. New Zealandian, I'm updating this for you guys. And remember the one sell we took here that didn't go. It went back, make a new high. It's coming down. There was a sell set up here on Friday, but it was Friday. I didn't want to post that because that's Friday afternoon. I don't know how people manage it, and I wouldn't be able to update it. But it was coming only to break this low, because now you get a flat 1, 2, 3. This will probably go back here. We could even stay here for a while, make a new top, and then we're looking for downside. This thing should eventually come down, right? Everything in this chart is telling us that this should make one more low. Can they crawl up to the top there and break this top? Well, if they do that, we'll be looking for a running flat and then more up. So for now, if we get a buy setup there, we'll take it. We'll look for that buy setup if it starts to go up. So Monday, if this becomes a flag for upside, if we get a flag here for upside, maybe one short trade to break that up. I hate to do that, but maybe one trade we'll go with, and then we're looking for the sell. Most likely we're looking for the sell because these are big, big, big corrections. See, it looks downside. Swiss yen, we're at the top there, and I thought this would make a flag to break. They didn't break out, and it's not making a flag. It's actually making a flat. When they go back that high, you're considering not a flag in the making, but a flat in the making here for upside. One more up. If they do drop, the only sell you would get is if this do drop is when it makes a flag. Then we go for the sell because the sell is going to break out of this structure. We're in an up corrective structure right now. See this piece? That's an up corrective structure. This should come down here. And from this point, we can expect one more up. That will give us this flat pattern. After which we're going to drop. So if we get a sell set up here, we'll take it back to this level, and then we'll take it to this level. Let's see if we get a sell set up. I'm not keen on the buy there so much. Like I said, any yen pair you want to buy the dollar yen. That's it. Even if all the yen pairs go, the best one to buy is the dollar yen because that one has a clear up structure. Any other one that has a sell setup is worth taking if they're at a good point with a good sell setup in them. Why would the dollar yen go and these could still come down? Because there's another side into this rather than the yen. It's the Swiss. You've got to watch what the Swiss is doing, what the dollar Swiss is doing. This has a very good structure. We've got a sharp move and we've got some nice corrections here. So we're looking for a sell setup like this. Let's see if we can get anything there. Right now, nothing. Right? We took this sell. That became more of a break-even trade because it didn't go anywhere. And this one looks like it's going to make a new high. This piece looks like it's going to either come here and go back up one more. And then we look for the sell setup. Down, sell. There's not much of a buy setup here to look for. But the sell setup would be the good one because we are going to get a sharp wave like that down, hopefully, to complete for a running flat. So at the top there, the best thing to do is look for the sell. Aussie Swiss, this one is going to be a complicated one because this one is crawling up like this. We need to finish one. We need to go back up. We need to finish another one. Then we need to go. So I'm expecting this to be a regular flat or running flat. This should be a regular flat or running flat, depends on how it goes and where it breaks. Then you get 1, 2, 3. Then we can go. So this one is just going to be going sideways, but some sharp impulses would happen, right? Right now you're going sideways. Right now you're going sideways, but there's some sharp impulses to get. There's a sharp impulse down, not such a sharp one up, but another sharp one down, and then up we go. So we can trade it. We can trade within this range. Let me just take this out, put it here. We can change within this range if we understand each piece, how it's going to develop, and if we get the setup to take the trades. Aussie Cat, also in consolidation. All the Aussie pairs are trending upside, but they're all in some kind of a consolidation right now. So this was a good sell, if you remember that one. We got this up, we're getting a sharp one. I don't think that's all the correction. So this might start to make deeper correction to the upside. Let's see if we have any sell setup and or buy setup. Nope, nothing. We did break this. You got a sell set up there. If you get another correction here, we'll sell. We'll assume that this impulse is still going down a lot more. Aussie, New Zealand. Okay, this was a buy. Like I said, once in a while, they go a little faster than usual. But from this point here, it could come right back down here. We're kind of in a squeeze. See? It's not so much a triangle. It's more of some kind of a squeeze going on. So because this one has the 1, 2, 3, I think we're coming back here first. That is the complete 1, 2, 3, and then go back up. So I think we can look for a sell setup from the top there. If you want to trade this, it might go very slow. EuroCAD. EuroCAD is going down quite a lot, which is strange. It broke this low and they're going back all the way back to the low. And that is really strange because we want an impulse to the upside, which should be this impulse. And it might happen, but if it comes, the lower this comes before you get that impulse, the more it becomes a flat rather than a trade to the upside, a bigger trend. So we might not even break out of this structure here on the weekly. We might still be stuck in this if this comes here and go right back up there. Right, so this might be a flat in the middle of this piece for the downside. And that is very possible. So as we're going down, do we have sell setups? Not much of a sell setup here. You actually don't have anything. You just have 4 sideways. You can wait for this to make a flag, or you can try to sell this. This is going to be a short trade like this one. And then they will make another one and drop, but then eventually you'll start to see the upside. So you can take these short trades. Every one you take profit off immediately. Once it goes and make an impulse, starts to consolidate, take it off. It starts to reverse, take it off. You're in New Zealand. Okay, so this is the pattern we have. We're expecting one more sharp move here. I think we showed the pattern why we think we're expecting one more sharp move. And that is because of this one. One more move up and then the downside. So this one, we were expecting this to break out and go. It did break out. It's going. We are in this trade already. So we're some of us in the trade from here. I closed that one and I re-enter here, and we kept that one because it was during the news and during the Friday session. It was going very good. The New York session, I wanted to say, and it's going very slow, but it's going up. So we figure out we may just stay with it for a while. So we're still in this. This should be a break even now, and then we'll see how far it goes. Right? It could crawl up for quite a while. If they come back, we get break even out of the trade. Euro Swiss, let's see what this is doing. This has a big pattern in the middle, and we're in the middle of this pattern. If you go back to the 4 hour, you'll see. See? We have got this one sharp. This would have been 1, 2, 3 and upside. Right? That would have been the red. But then we have a big flat here. So maybe it's not so fast. Maybe they can make something here, go back up there, come back, and then go. So let's see what's happening in the 1 hour. What trade we get. In the 1 hour, you're likely going to get a move down. You can see that already. This is going to break down. Come here. That's a short trade. But look for the upside. Because once you get that running flat there, you're going up. The upside would be a bigger trade than the downside. And it wouldn't go far because you're still in this consolidation. Euros, you're getting a sell setup here. I think this is easy to see. We can go with this sell. Once we get a flag here for the sell, we can go with it. Euro yen, we're looking for an impulse down, which should be similar to this. Come back here and then go. So if you don't get the down move, if you don't get that down move, I mean, if you don't manage to get any trade out of it, but it come down, look for the buy setup. Can this go up more before we get this impulse down? Yeah, it could climb up a little more. But this is almost over, so you probably wait for a flag here. Take one more trade, close it. It makes another flag go, take one more trade, close it. Because eventually that should come back and give you a move like this before they go up. There's a reason why we think that trade is very possible. Euro pound, this one, we're at the low of this bigger structure. See? We're at the very low of this 1, 2, and very likely come back here for a 3. And we're already in this trade. which is very close to break even because we have this trade here and we put it to break even. So if Monday they come and they make a new low, which is possible, see, we will look for a buy setup again. Now, if you want to sell this, that's a question. You can take the sell, it's a short trade. All you'll have to do is manage your way out of it if it doesn't go very far, which is unlikely that it's going to go very far. Pause. Okay. You're in a big correction here, but you're going sideways. Right? We're in a big correction, but we're crawling down like this. And the crawling like this means you get to move like that up. And then from there, we'll see if we come down. So they're going up, but they're going up slowly. Right? This is going to go up. You're pushing up, you're pushing up, you're pushing up. I think we should look for a buy setup in the break of this. Look for a buy setup like that. On New Zealand, well, this one is going sideways. And if you look at the big picture, at some point, this thing is going to come down. We just need to make one more high. So go here. You're making a flag here. See this? Kind of make a 1, 2, 3. They should go break that top and maybe then downside. Because you've got 1, 2, 3 here. I think let it go up, let it break the top. If you don't get a trade, no problem. And then we look for the sell setup. I don't think you have a sell setup from here. Pong yen. We're looking for one of this. Looking for one of that down. And this might have been the start of it. This one here. But the depth of this pullback is a little, this depth of the pullback is a little more flat looking. So there's a chance you can do this and then go up. If you get like this, 1, 2, 3. Right, this came down back. So if this comes down back here, we look for the upside. Not so much the downside. This downside might come later on, after that flat. Punkad. Okay, Punkad, we're looking for the downside. So there's no surprise. I told you it's going to come back here. Any flag you get, sell. So if you get a flag here, that's a sell, sell, sell. When it comes here, we're going back up. Right? We've been showing you this step by step. So let's see. You're actually getting a flag for a sell, which is good. You're getting a flag here. That's a good sell setup. Pound Swiss, stay out of it. It's not going anywhere. You don't have any structure to support, much more upside. So stay of that. Stay out of it and trade the ones that are going good. New Zealand Swiss. It's coming down very slow, but I anticipate a move down here to complete this flat. And then up again. All very slow. So you might want to consider, if you're taking that trade, how long it will take. New Zealand CAD. Like all CAD pairs, they're going down a little. Look for flag sell. I don't know how low it's going to go, but we broke the structure, so it might go quite a lot. CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss is still going up. We have a running flat here. I think it's easy to see. Second, let me just grab the line. Where is it? I lost the line, so here, got it. Get this one, yeah. See, that's upside. So any flag you get here could be a buy. We do have divergence, so just be careful, right? But any kind of setup you get here could be a sell, right? If you get a setup for a sell, downside, because we need one more down like this. At some point, you're going to get one more down here and then upside. This is pretty much what you saw today. I showed you two of these patterns, one in the New Zealand dollar and one in the silver. Where you have one, you have two, you got this corrective move up, you came down back. They're actually at the bottom here trying to go up now. So if that is so, then this one would definitely give you the downside very soon. Just keep an eye out here for every flag you get to buy. Once they turn, you can start selling. Right? The flags are short term, which means every impulse now to the upside could be the last one. Okay, that's for the Forex. I think we will stop this webinar there. That's the Forex one. We will continue the next webinar with these, and then with the Bitcoin, with the crypto coins. So if you manage to watch this to the end, let's ask you to share it and help others see it, right? Thank you very much. Have a great week ahead of you. And I would probably give you an update somewhere midweek, so make sure you set your notification to get that when I do post it. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and see all of you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.